Nouns have really figured that map out just yet. Even with the firepower they have, the explosiveness they have, they've still not cracked the code on that. And I think that really just comes down to repetitions, and they just have not figured out that secret sauce. From then on out, you've got a lot of options if you're Nouns. You can go towards Mirage. Even after being battered on it, it's still a map that you have a lot of comfort on. You could go towards Ancient, which is one that they've been moving towards quite regularly, and we already saw Marca get battered on earlier by Wildcard. Instead, they go for Vertigo, a map that they have particularly really shown some issues on. And so I really call into the question the legitimacy of this veto for Nouns, and it makes Dust2 all that more important with that unknown factor of Vertigo waiting in the wings.
Yeah, let's not forget too that this was the map that Marca was able to have that 13-10 victory against Party Astronauts. So I think for them, you know, like you said, it's no surprise they're going to go for this. So Nouns are going to have to really make sure that they're aware and that they're not just going to ego this one. But now you can see Marca getting ready for a little bit of BXQ, but it is a fake. You can see they're not going to push into this. Look at how fast that Nouns react to this. As soon as the smoke is going to be thrown for door, they have 3 players already there. Now they're going to try to, you know, just scramble and lower right now, looking for Junior. Thankfully, he can get himself out of this situation. So right now, Junior's been able to get some decent intel. But now the question is Nouns going to be prepared for this? They do have the setups ready. This is a perfectly placed here for some of these players. One in the back of flat, 2 here in closet, and there it is. Now the pistols are starting to sing just a little bit. It's singing blue. See the Marca trying their best to get out of this, but no, it's a funnel. Last player alive. It's not going to matter at all. Not too bad, and honestly, from Nouns, I was getting a little bit worried. They were pouncing on that so quickly, but I think they were able to keep themselves composed, all things considered.
Yeah, it's Junior being the MVP of the round for me, where he's getting so much valuable information that even after that door smoke goes through, he's making sure that they're not backing away from lower and going down into mid. He's making sure that the rotations are covered in case they need to come through. And even after that, after he makes his final play into the B side, he finds 2 kills as well. It's everything that you could ask for out of Junior there. And again, he'll hear everything. He'll spot the bomb on the tail end of that train. And he'll rack up a couple more with that SMG. AMC, the last one alive, who we saw some bright spots from him in the first series, but yet to really get going in a complete series here in this qualifier. And maybe he can stamp his mark of authority in this game against the Nouns that is a little worrying, to say the least.
Yeah, definitely. And I think this is the thing where we saw AMC, you know, in the earlier series today, not looking as great as, you know, when they played against Party Astronauts. Like I said, he was definitely the playmaker. He was the guy with the only positive stats on the team. So by like a pretty significant margin too. So it's like, I think Marca does rely a lot on some of those individuals to really pop off for them to do well. But in this case, he was a little bit quiet for him. We'll see if he can reinvent himself a little bit. He's had a bit of time here as a break. But now the AKs are going to be out. Utility a little bit lighter on this one, just considering. Not been the easiest for them, not getting plants and getting control on this, but I love this pop smoke. Are they going to be able to find it? No. Just gets away in time.
I like the aggression across the map here. On control. Junior looking for that mid duel, and he'll find it. Takes down his counterpart in the AMC, and now things get a little topsy-turvy for Marca. They're losing ground everywhere they go. They're losing bodies now as well. And Rush will find yet another. Junior spots the cross, but can't actually capitalize. He eventually does. Retains the man advantage, leaves it into 2v4. Marca completely split up. You've got Jardani stuck outside long doors, and B1 stuck outside the short side. And Jardani's forced forward with that incendiary. 40 seconds left now, and yeah, sure, you can get this bomb plant before. Highly doubtful, guys.
I don't think so either. And this is the situation where B1 has to be super active on this. He has to be able to find some duels and a little bit of a quick peek from Junior. So maybe going to allow these kills. Yes, indeed. And actually, he does pick up both, but finally gets taken out. But my God, even George hitting that kind of a shot. But I was getting a little bit worried there just because I was thinking he was a dead man. B1, I should mean. But the fact that he's able to find the 2, the op is retrievable. I mean, sure, but man, oh man, that's just a little bit costly, but they still have some coins, so it's not the end of the world. But again, losing one would have been a lot better, obviously.
Yeah, cutting off that cat prong, B1 made me start to believe there for a second, but not to be. They will purchase down considering Max lost at a bomb plant. You gotta give credit to B1 for securing that C4. And now still have to hunker down here. Go for some long control and they'll confirm it. So far so good for the CTs. The game plan is working as intended. It's up to Marca to buck the trend, really.
Yeah, and this was the problem before too. I mean, this is where we saw again in the previous years for people that maybe weren't here is like Marca had a really hard time in the first map. I think it was 9-0 they were against Wildcard before they were able to finally get themselves on the board. So I'm hoping for Marca they're not going to have the same, bit of a circumstance that they have this like big lead against them. Hopefully they can bring things back. This is a bit more of a scrappier round in the sense of, Galil's with very limited utility, or it's, a lot lackluster than before, but this is really, again, back to a bit of a 2-1 or a 1-3-1, I should apologize. Yeah, and just having the one player lurk on Cat. But Nouns, they have a pretty good read on this. They're playing a very deep mid. You can already see that's going to be Rush. That's actually playing on B door to watch mid. So they're going to give up that control, but he's going to be here to support Jordan. This is perfect because now the Molly is going to buy them some more time. 40 seconds left. And you can see that Marca, they have to make a decision to either fall back or they have to recommit to this.
That's so indecisive. And now, I mean, with this late short control that B1 has, they can still opt in for gameplay if they want to, or a mid to B split. Either way, Carson spotted out everything. He finds 3 kills, pushing all the way through the long doors. And that's the issue. You have this indecision that allows for players that are hyper aggressive to really cause a bit of a ruckus. And they just get so indecisive there, Marca Registrada, and they never really pull the trigger on any one play. And you can do that. You can play as slow as you want, but not against Nouns. You got to be a little bit more decisive against them.
Yeah, and that was kind of the thing we noticed on, Ancient for Marca too, is that they really just were making some really poor decisions on their T side. They weren't taking the map control they needed to, and that's kind of what we're seeing here, right? I mean, they look like they're ready for the execute. They're being a bit indecisive. And like you said, you can't do that against a team like this. You're never going to get away with that. And even now, they've kind of, retreat from long. They're going to be back into mid. And they have a huge disadvantage because, again, you have pistols that are trying to fight rifles with a big distance. You have the AK of Taylor, sure, but that's relying on one player to be a star, to be able to find a couple for your teammates to pick up rifles. Don't like it. And AMC, again, this is the second time we've seen him. He's fully exposed in mid. He gives himself up with any kind of a chance to get a fight.
That kill from Taylor does give some legs to this round, however. Taylor's gotten all the way up top mid. And CJ has flubbed the spray just slightly. Jardani will go down, though. And yeah, that does put a spanner in the works here for Taylor. Needs to confirm this 1v2 and knows where one player is. But with this smoke fading, things get a little bit more tough. Taylor's going to fight ahead and rush. Safest pair of hands in North America. Of course, he'll find that final kill. Nouns move back up to 5 rounds.
Yeah, I love that. Again, like just a little bit of a detail, but like the fact that Rush was able to just kind of jump spot, the edge of that smoke on the top. Like if he wouldn't have done that, I mean, Marca could have had the plant down potentially. They could have, the post plant would have been a lot difficult for the retake of Nouns. So it's a small, it's a small detail, but it pays off huge, right? Like it's just clearing and getting that information. You love to see it. Like he was able to react to it perfectly. Marca had no idea. Like they had no sense that, oh, they could shoot me through this smoke. But either way, they're gonna fall 5-0 now. Just gonna keep forcing up as much as they can. Just gonna spend all the dollars to see what they can do. And the bomb is in the back of spawn, so you can already tell right now, Paladin, that these guys have no idea what they want to do right now. They're just looking for a duel and hoping to God they can find something.
I mean, even if they find space and they find an entry, they're gonna have to spend quite a bit of time to recollect that C4, and that's the issue here. That will come back to bite them eventually. Be it the clock, be it extra utility needing to be deployed. Keep an eye on that in the late round. Finally, Taylor is moving back from the tunnels to pick it up, so should be okay actually. But look at how much utility they have left, Marca. It's basically a full belt on AMC and 0 flashes, so it's going to have to be completely dry in their assault. And with the short control that they have, that's probably going to have to be the play. They can late mid to B, but with the bomb coming in through long solo, it's that fight between Carson and Taylor that really decides the round altogether.
Yep, and even for George, I mean, he's sitting in Goose right now, so he's got the counter flash ready. So this flash, it's going to go right in front of the leaves. You can't see it as a team. It's literally an instant pop. You are blind. So now this is going to get thrown. These guys are going to be blind. Somehow, B1's able to still find it. Now, they're trying to just contest with Junior, but look at him just lighting me up. He's trying to go for the trick shot, but he can't land it, but he's done his job. He's been able to find 3 kills in this round. 7 seconds remaining. Have to get this plant down. They're going to be successful in it, but now B1, a man that was in the box before, has to do it again. The veteran of Rush is going to be able to shut this thing down, but again, you got to tip the hat here for Junior. He was just able to light things up, lock it down, buy them the time, and now they've guaranteed the 6th round.
This is the Junior I love to watch, the one that is fearless, the one that commands respect in the server when he decides to play as aggressive as he is. You see the constant popping open of the mid smokes to keep taking shots in. You see the refacing in the angles on ramp, and you know, some people argue that it's a blessing and a curse, but right now it's showcasing all the fantastic sides of it. Now, Nouns sit very pretty at the 6-0 start. Oodles of cash. Now, long control being the name of the game here for Marca Registrada. They get 1 player out. 2 players, rather, but 1 player with all the kills. Jardani find a double, but AMC is out. We're into a 3v3.
Oh, man, and look at it. You can just see Taylor. Oh, this nade should get the job done, surely. With the Molotov on top of it, yeah, man. These guys just blasting utility on him. He's gone. So now the advantage back in favor for Nouns. You can see that the bomb is in the back of long A corridor. And already a flank that's kind of commencing from Rush. I mean, it's a long flank, but he's getting a ton of information. So now he can tell his teammates, look, nobody's here. These guys are in mid. They're towards long. And he could be able to find this backstab potentially. As you can see that even B1, he's kind of creeping in middle. But Rush actually might get the timing right here, because that bomb looks like he might be able to find it if he goes a bit more on the right. He's going to have that information.
Oh,
and I think he sees it. Yeah, it's a beep and it's blinking. He sees it.
Oh, God. Now, Rush knows that he has a round in the palm of his hands. I mean, if he sees that the bomb is gone, he can always just push through long doors, or he can just cut off that package straight away, and now it's all up to B1. And sure, you've got this late CT presence, but it doesn't matter if your teammate's dead. I mean, he'll pull himself up by the bootstraps into that spot, but
oh no! Oh no!
Shot, and Junior actually misses one as well. So all parties saying, okay, let's just cancel this whole thing, and B1 will be off to save. Nouns get themselves their 7th round.
Yeah, not the prettiest shots made from both sides, but I mean, at least for Nouns, they're going to be able to secure this half by a good margin now. But again, we're just seeing Marca making a lot of, you know, big mistakes in this, right? Like the bomb location is one thing, and then playing these kind of solo strats and not really working as a team, where we have seen in the previous series, despite the score lines against Wildcard, they had some good rounds. They had some good coordination, but we're just not seeing it right now. These T sides are very lackluster. But I would love to see them kind of, you know, contesting a little bit more for some map control. We haven't really seen them try it yet. Like they kind of toyed with the idea on long once, but their spawn is a decently B-sided one. Maybe we see them try to accelerate something there. Maybe someone to look for a quick duel, a quick pick. I don't know, but I mean, you got to do something new now.
Yeah, I think the name of the game right now is decisiveness, is just committing to a strategy fully. I mean, you guys saw a couple of moments there in the early goings of this game where they smoke off upper B ton. There's 4 players ready to go. The execute is down, and they decide not to go through the smoke. And you know, I think that 9 times out of 10 they do lose that round too. But I would rather everybody be on the same page and lose that round instead of something much more tepid. And this is looking a little bit more better. Just aggressing down, and Junior gets caught in a clipping, and now they're just going to go charging into CJ. He's all alone here. Needs to find multiple to make this round a possibility, but Carson goes through their own CT smoke. And that is everything for Nouns. It leaves Taylor on a late lurk at top mid. And sure, he's getting some pot shots with this scout, but George will execute him where he stands. Marca cannot buy a round here.
Yeah, this is honestly amazing work though from Carson. Like again, we've seen so many different times in the 9 rounds that have commenced, or the 8 rounds already, but he's been putting in multi-kills. He's been able to find, some kills, and backstabbing them essentially. So you got to give it to him. He's put himself at a 10-2. Him and Junior, hitting the double digits with Rush. But yeah, I mean, that was a bit of a mistake from Junior. You could see he was really focused on getting that Molotov in mid, and it cost him his life. But Bob's still retrievable. It's fine. Nothing to really sweat about yet. But that could have been worse if Carson was able to find these duels. And now I'm starting to see Nouns. They're starting to feel a little bit better here, Paladin. They're starting to go for these big swings. They're just trying to go for the big firefights. Just will get this kill against George, and actually, here we go. Back to an equal situation of the 3-3.
Yeah, you do have to fight fire with fire at some point and punish the major aggression from players like George and Rush. Or not even Rush, just George in that situation, realistically. But Carson is that next line of defense. I'm very aware of this. He mollies Carson right out of position. A minute left on the clock. A lot that Marca Registrada can do with the control pass. Back to B. Junior misses a tough shot, and that really forces Carson to stay put. CJ is considering leaving, but this looks has to confirm his attention either way. Majestic finds the necessary kill, and Taylor will finish things off. So Marca Registrada break the goose egg on the scoreboard after a tough round to win in all things considered, but it's really just punishing aggression across the map and keeping all of these Nouns players in check.
Yeah, that's exactly it, right? I mean, Nouns were getting a little bit cheeky. I think they, again, they were trying to, toy with it a bit to see what they can get away with. I don't hate it, but now it's a question, just get it back into full discipline, kind of pick it up a little bit. I mean, they lost a round, sure, whatever. But they were trying to, be a little bit aggro to see what they could essentially get away with. But Junior, I just want to see, there's been 2 times now where he's played these kind of questionable positions. George does have this intel. Going to call for the flash. Should work nicely. Needs a swing. Yeah, that should be an easy kill. Good teamwork from Junior. He's redeemed himself. But now you can see Marca, they're kind of stuck right back into mid. That bomb is in the back of T-spawn. It is not left yet. They don't know what to do with it. And that's Taylor. He doesn't even have the op. It's AMC that's equipped with it.
He's been trying to make it work as much as he can, but it hasn't been that stellar start from Mexican Superstar. And now, I'm going to turn their attentions back to this A-bomb site. Alvangar smokes dropped through. So Junior will have some trouble with this AWP, but he's fearless, aggressing through to fight into that cat smoke, but he can't find the necessary flick over. It puts a little bit more pressure on George as his T's continue to encroach upon his position. That Molotov is sublime, but George will fight in the flames. Unfortunately, though, the bomb is alone. Poor Taylor drops, and Carson hits a blinder of a shot deep into the pit. CJ will close it out, and Nouns march away to 9 rounds. That's a round that you cannot lose if you're Marca Registrada, and I think that really just comes down to leaving that package all the way on a solo mission through long doors.
Yeah, I absolutely hate it. Yeah, and I'm glad you're bringing it up because that's one of the things, if I have a pet peeve, it's definitely that. You cannot leave the bomb carrier by themselves. If that player's gone, your whole round turns on its head. So again, these are the mistakes that we're just seeing from Marca that have to get cleaned up. But I mean, the fact that even Carson hit that shot from pit too, that's just filthy, right? That's such a BM. He knows that he's just fragging out, going for these duels. But now the question is if Junior's gonna be able to land this. He has to worry about the cat. He does hit the lower shot, and Rush, okay. He's gonna feed himself a triple kill. And now it's just Majestic. Gonna have to be Majestic here because this is a 1-on-5 that has turned to the 1-on-4. But you can see Nouns, they're all ready for him. They're all just gonna swing out a cat. It's a shooting range. The American snipers are able to land it. So now we're at a 10-1 as you go in that last round of the first half.
Yeah, that's Nouns, vintage Nouns right there, where they just completely congregate upon your position. It's very chips to the middle of the felt type of play where everything is riding on one or two interactions, and if they fail, you look foolish, but when it works like that, it looks absolutely phenomenal. Marca, I've just had such a troublesome time with the economy in this game, and now to add insult to injury, Jardani hits the deck early. They're gonna go for that lower control once more, try to get up into Catbox. Too solid to try to soften these players up, but Taylor will still find a way to equalize.
Yeah, now they're starting to pick up a couple duels in their favor. So again, Junior going to be taken out. So now CJ's going to get tested mid. He did have the spot. I don't know. He was a little bit slow on the wheel, that one. But now Jordan Carson, last two players alive, and they've been some heavy hitters, especially Carson. But with the swing, Carson does what he does best now. 2-2. Bomb's going to get planted. Molly should be able to land. Too late on the planter, but now he's got some intel. He knows his player's just on the corner. He won with a great shot, and there it is. Marca Registrada, they're going to be able to get themselves a second round. We're going to take a little bit of a break as we get ready for the second half.
When I step out of the light and come into the light, I will be happy, happy, happy. How could I not be, not be, not be? And hey, do you think I can stay? 'Cause I will be happy, happy, happy. How could I not be, not be, not be? When I'm with you. Speak to me, your silence broken. Share with me your heart's desire. Hey, shout it out in words unspoken. Shout it out above. When I step out of the light.
Well, things are definitely looking strong over here because Nouns are putting themselves at a 10-2 on the CT side, and now we'll see if they can close things out, or maybe the Mexico team here is going to be able to bring things back on Dust2. I have no idea, but it's Laz and Paladin to take you through the rest of map number 1. And now this is the pick from Marca, so we'll have to see what they have in store for us, Paladin. But so far, it looks like a little bit of a capital poke and prod to see what they can get, and they're going to start it off nicely.
That's nice from Jardani. He's had some pretty critical kills to at least make some of these rounds competitive for Marca. Puts Nouns into a 4v5 that they didn't want to necessarily have. They still got smoke, 2 flashes involved. They want a mid to B split. It's a possibility. They've still got 2 P250s in play as well between George and Junior. There's still a lot of potency in this round for the American side. They even get themselves short control as a cherry on top, so even more cause for concern. They're going to drop their singular smoke down into the CT spawn, but they're not going to use that as the mid to B split anyways. They find their 1 kill, and B1 now is stranded between 2 players, trying his hardest to stay alive, and he's stalled for just long enough for Jardani to arrive to the scene. Now it's all up to Junior in the 1v3, and Majestics picks up the Glock to take him out.
Honestly, you know, despite that round, like I love that Marca, you know, Registrada were able to get themselves on the catwalk. They went for the early fight. I like that. I do think that was actually a very creative strat. Very simple from Nouns, like throwing that deep CT smoke that typically is used when, you know, players are on long and they want to clear elevator, but you kind of use it to a different way. But again, I think it was just good shots landing here from Marca. So far, not bad. I mean, they've been essentially 1-1 now in pistols. We'll see if they can be able to put this round into their favor, because again, that is CT economy, man. It's ruthless. So that's the other thing we have to remember here too. But again, the investment from Nouns, it's a scout, it's a P250, and then it's Glocks. But we saw earlier today that you can lose round with Glocks as well. So it ain't out of the picture yet.
No, nothing is. Nothing is off the table with Nouns. And Junior having firm control of middle with that scout is a huge boon to have. Gonna decide to waltz up middle, considering that void is there. Majestics is gonna have to do a lot of work with this MP9, considering the hit that's about to come. But I think they're hoping for Junior to find maybe another kill to jostle some of the rotations a little bit further. The MC will aggress forward. Here's the shot. Super important, but the no-scope doesn't. They're gonna go charging out the long side, and Majestics will get himself 3 kills, nearly the 4th, but George handles business there. And Nouns will get themselves the guns out regardless.
Yeah, they're gonna be able to force up on this, but it would have been way better if they can obviously had been able to find at least 1 or 2 just to add a little bit more for the coin. But either way, it's not gonna be too harmful. But Junior is gonna go for the scout again. No utility, full armor on him, and then everybody else kind of gleals with full util and a couple AKs to complement him. Now, Jardani, he's going to get a little bit aggressive, but Nouns, look at how fast they're able to reply to this. They're ready, they're willing, they're able to take down everybody. Even get to be on B1 by himself, and he's going to have to be the one because now he has 4 different players to go against. He's only got the MP9, and honestly, I don't know if this is going to be worth it. I can't remember where gun Carson had. I think it was one of the AKs. So if he can find it, it might be worth just saving it.
Yeah, saving is definitely the name of the game here for B1. And it's very similar to the game that they had against Wildcard, where they're very focused on having all-in gamble-y approaches to the map. And on Ancient, it was mid-control, right? They would go charging in to try and duel against straight away, but unfortunately for them, they would always lose the trade game. They wouldn't get that one necessary kill they needed to break through a key portion of the map. And the same thing is happening here with that all-in effect on the upper tunnels. They have players crunching in from from lower and from upper, but it's just a little off kilter. It's a little disjointed, and that's where Nouns capitalizes.
Yeah, you love that bit of a rebound from Nouns. But now Taylor, oh god, he's not loving this at all. He's just taking so much damage. On the hunt, seeing who he's able to find. You see Rush on the other side, good ball flash. He does get himself out, but is he gonna have the timing? No. George at least can get some kind of a trade back. And Taylor, what a shot. Okay. Deep from mid, takes down 2 now. The scout is starting to do some work, and that actually was the bomb carrier too. So that's all the way back in Dark Tunnel. So things are not looking the greatest right now for Nouns, because they have to go for these gunfights. They have to kind of reconvene. They have to refight for this. But they have to worry about Taylor, because he's the one with the AK close by too. And he might be able to find some kills. Majestics is here too. And now I think it's falling apart. Unless George can do something miraculous here, he's going to have to take down 3 different players, and not meant to be at all.
Wow, man. Taylor with some insane scout shots. And I mean, the viability of the scout has been a recent talking point across all levels of the game. And you can really see on Dust2 specifically just the amount of damage that this weapon can pump out. Can dodge and dive and get so many pot shots in through these doors. And it's been so effective in securing that round there for Marca Registrada. This time they consider aggression down to lower, but it gets spotted out straight away by Junior. They'll call off that little game plan of theirs and reset back into their standard default setup.
Yeah, I gotta give some kudos for Taylor. I mean, that was a really good round from him, just being able to find some good impactful kills with the scout. I wouldn't say scout's underrated, but I definitely think, it's great to see it being utilized so much more now. You definitely can tell that you can find a lot of good ways to find some duels, especially even if it's just like a scout and deagles and things like that, like work around with it. But now AMC is going to be taken out. This molly might be effective, but George actually is going to beat him just as it gets thrown. So now they're just going to sandwich right into this B site. Jardani needs to be able to find some multi-kills, but he takes down Rush. Not going to matter at all. These players from the T side are wounded. This is exactly what I was talking about here with the scout, but they need to be able to find a kill quickly. Carson posted up close on this B tunnel. Is Justin expected? It is not. Now Taylor, a tough decision at hand here. He either commits to this or he's going to save this M4. He's got a kit, full armor with the smoke. This wouldn't be a bad thing for him to save. He's going to go for it. He thinks he could do it. But George is going to be able to have his back. And man, those guys combined HP less than 30. That was very scary.
Yeah, it's a pretty pick your poison situation there for Taylor. He either saves and gives away map point with no damage done, or he goes for a clutch on the B bomb side of Dust2. Like it's not a pretty picture either way. So no harm, no foul there. It's gonna be a couple of MP9s, a scout for Taylor again, hoping to catch lightning in a bottle twice. Jardani on that 5-7 off. Or maybe that was intentional. Maybe it was to suggest that they could press in and they're gonna try that lower play yet again. And this time it works splendidly. AMC finds a quick double and B1 with another. Luckily for Nouns, they've got themselves long control. They've got the cross smoke in, so they're gonna be able to establish a 2v3 post plant at the very least. Now whether or not they can hold strong is another question.
Still got 3 players alive, and Taylor has definitely been one of those guys that's been able to find some good impact, but no, he's not going to be able to find it at all in this round. It's all down to this. Again, HP's critically low here for the CT side. George has taken a nade to put him down to 10. And he's actually going to contest a little bit here on the plat. He's trying to see what he can do. He gets caught, leaving it to the 1v1. CJ critically low in the red now. One shot from both these players are going to be dead. But I can't believe it. CJ goes for a full swing and gets the timing of AMC. Oh, man, that poor guy. He just can't seem to catch a break on his positioning and his timings.
Whew, that's a brutal way to lose a map. Oh, my God. But, yeah, I think as a whole, Nouns just had a great game plan. The way they played their CT side was very akin to what makes Nouns as exciting.
Look at that. We're going straight into Vertigo. No messing around. No freeze time. Nothing. We're getting this second map underway. Now Marca Registrada are going to have to prove to us that they can push things to a third map, or maybe now will build that confidence. And right now, it's looking like pistols from the CT side of Jardani's just going to be able to light things up, putting on a bit of a show. And now we might see Nouns lose another pistol pretty quickly here, Paladin.
Yeah, it's just that all-in play again from Marca Registrada straight through the A ramp. And it's a brawl to start off Vertigo. Nothing going in the favor of the American side. And now CJ, he's been spotted out. We know where he's coming from. And he gets decapitated. Taylor to find one more. But Jardani there, swinging for the fences off of side hall, and he's got so much confidence in the flash that's tossed in that at that point he can really just play till he dies. And that was just honestly a sick sequence from him.
Yeah, it really was. And that's the thing too, like, I mean, we talked a lot about this, and the veto really, for like Nouns, I really don't think this is a good veto, but they have the biggest leg up about competition they play, the caliber of players, of course, but this map still worries me. Like, again, I know we were feeling better that Dust2 was done and went in their favor, but it's rounds like that where, you know, Marca might be able to pull something up here. I mean, they just played it, didn't go well for them, but maybe they learned from the mistakes. And right now, I mean, we're already seeing a lot of improvement. I know they're going against Glocks and you know, Deagles, but they are still finding those opening engagements. They are still kind of playing a little bit more composed than before. So this is a nice improvement.
Now it's time to button things up for Marca. Just rack up the cash and they'll do it flawlessly. Fantastic to have there. And now it means that Nouns have to dig themselves out of another pistol loss into the rest of the half.
Yeah.
Let's see what they have for us in store.
I feel like I could be wrong, Paladin, but you can definitely correct me, but I feel like Nouns are just not a good pistol team. Am I crazy?
Yeah, it's a bit weird, right? It's like they have these very risky ideas, but for some reason none of them really work out for them. So curious type of situation, but they always really have a good solid foundation round. And I'm gonna say nearly off to the right foot here, but Jardani still lives on 4 HP. Obviously, Nouns have no idea that that's the case, but they'll be happy when they see the kill feed in just a short while.
Yeah, the fact that we're even still at a, you know, a minute 18 and it's 5-on-5, but Jardani being very, very low, but usually we see like at least 1 or 2 players gone right away, and then it's kind of a claw back into it. But now everybody's kind of pumping the brakes. Everybody's just, you know, chilling a little bit more. Now we see Marca actually, they're going to look for a little bit of a spot here on A ramp. Now they don't see anybody, so now they're going to reposition themselves. This is interesting. Now they might actually have themselves a little bit of an interesting idea here, Paladin, and this is very different than what we saw before. This was not, you know, not doing any of this kind of work.
The problem is Junior has heard all of this, I'd like to think. And I think it's being sold to Marca that the B play is coming. Now Jardani's going to aggress it. He's going to see just a face full of lead, really. So it's a race back to the A bomb site, and Nouns have to beat them to the punch. It's only Majestics here on the site proper that's going to have to hold the line. Can he do it is the question. No, instantly picked up by Carson, and now Taylor also caught out on the extremities. Nouns have just single-handedly pantsed Marca Registrada, and these MP9s can't really do anything to speak of.
No, not at all. And again, I love that you know, called that, you know, George should have been able to hear all these, you know, rotations happening and everything. That just allowed them to get this full control. And this is a good moment right now for Nouns. They just kind of stay cool, calm, and collected. All 5 alive for the time being. And Junior's going to be able to solidify that for sure. So it is a flawless round from Nouns. But again, I love that we see that play from Marca. I know it's like a minute detail kind of, but again, it's you have to remember, if you've been here in the beginning of today watching this, this is already that coordination I talked about. Really wasn't convinced about it, but little blimps like that, or little glimpses, it's nice to see from a team like Marca Registrada.
Yeah, the idea is sound, right? But if you want to go for a ramp aggression, you've got to clear the base of it. You cannot leave without clearing out that base, and you can make those gambles, but that's the real issue that comes from doing something like that. And unfortunately, they were very loud about it. But in this round here, Marca were just gonna give up a ramp control, and they're completely unaware that Nouns could be this far forward. Jardani pulls one back, but the damage is already done. Nouns are all the way up through the A site, and blink and you miss it. Taylor last alive.
Yeah, and again, this is where I was getting a bit critical about the positioning from Marca, even on Dust2, is like AMC. You know, he put himself in positions where he was exposed. I mean, Carson kind of doing the same thing here, but it's not really going to matter. Taylor's just looking for duels. If he would have found that, that would have been a 1v1, but it's going to be fine. Nouns reply back okay. They get the bomb down, they get the round, they keep a couple players alive. But again, we're seeing these kind of positional mistakes from Marca, and it could be the inexperience, right? I mean, that's something we talked a lot about, like them being here. They're going to be playing some very good NA teams. Like, that is something that they probably knew, but they're going to have to clean that up pretty quickly. But like I said, it's slowly improving, but if we keep seeing that again here, Paladin, then this might be a quick version.
Yeah, it's all a learning experience. At the end of the day, Marca Registrada, they're playing with house money. They're playing in a situation where they have nothing to lose. Everything here is a net positive that they can carry on to the next season of events and maybe try to make a run for ECL. It's what it's all about at the end of the day. And unfortunately, you're going to have to learn the hard way.
And Nouns are in a good position here. I mean, despite, you know, they have lost that 1AK that AMC does have in his hands, but he doesn't have the armor, so you got to remember that too. That's going to be a bit of a problem. But Jeffrey's here with the Deagle, trying to see if he's able to find at least a kill. He can't. Now they're just trying to stand through the smoke. It actually is landing, so some damage happens, and Taylor does at least get himself a kill.
Hold on.
Okay. Things are getting a little awkward here for Nouns fans, because all of a sudden, this has turned into a 2v2. There's a big flank here that's going to be commenced from Carson. This is important. They have to make sure that CJ makes some noise, just distracts him enough. Carson going to go right for the kill. He's not going to play it cool. He's just not even going to have to trigger this one. Instead, he's just going to get this thing done, cleaned up himself.
Little nerve-wracking there. Good on CJ to pump the brakes there. I mean, if he aggresses and he tries to take that ego peek into the back of generators and he dies, then a lot more pressure is added onto Carson, and especially if they've cut noise, they would consider the flank as a possibility. So good on CJ there to hold strong. But yeah, Carson also hitting some critical shots there. Marca will still have another purchase, and now looking to stem the bleeding that's occurring right now in this first half, and that's not the best start. Taylor down for the count, and it's an empty B bomb site now at 1:30 on the clock.
Yeah, this is what I'm worried about. Oh no! I was just gonna say Jardani might be able to find it, but the timing, I can't believe Rush. I can't believe he survives it. Yeah, this thing's falling apart. It is just falling apart, and that's something that Nouns are doing a really good job before, is again winning that opening duel, putting themselves in a 5-on-4 right away. And I was thinking Marca did a good job in the beginning of this map where they actually were winning those engagements. They were putting more of a fight to them. So now it's kind of backpedaling a little bit, right? Now Nouns are kind of getting themselves back in the driver's seat of this map.
Yeah, and it's another one of those all-in maneuvers from Marca where they want to really aggress 4 players down into the ramp, but you can't also have your B player aggressive as well in that situation. You've got to learn where to push and pull on the map as a CT, and unfortunately, they were all in everywhere. So if one part of the house of cards collapses, all of it will. And unfortunately, again, Marca have to kind of play this situation on hard mode. Luckily, Jardani will find one, but of course there are always trades when it comes to Nouns. There's a flubbed molly, but it shouldn't matter.
Nah, it's not going to make too much of an impact, I think, here. These Eagles have been not too bad here, Marca, but this is asking a lot, though, in this kind of a situation. Even Majestics is kind of here with the 5-7. That smoke might block him off. Yeah, it is. So he's going to have to kind of pull back and B1. Hoping that someone is going to go for the fight on sidewalk, but Junior in a prime position right now. Oh, and he's actually going to switch things up. He doesn't want to be there at all. He wants to be a bit more adventurous. So now the CT's starting to make a little bit more of a noise. B1's still hoping. He's still thinking somebody's going to go for the swing. But look at Junior now. Junior is farming. Now it's all down to B1 by himself with the Deeg. Don't like with this position for him. That's why.
He's been found out as well. Tried so long to hold on to that position, B1, but doesn't net the frag that he was hoping for. Now it's rack it up back up to 5. Finally, AMC will get a sniper, but Nouns are quickly gaining steam at this point. They've got to find a way to cut down an extremity player straight away. Force a 5v4 and force Nouns to slow the pace of the round down. Because right now, there's a lot of pep in this Nouns camp step.
Yeah, I'm curious with this AWP too, right? Like for AMC. I really haven't been overly impressed with it so far. I don't think there's been much opportunity. Carson, okay, that's a shot to land, and now a big swing once again from Carson. Man, he is just having himself a fantastic series so far with a 9-3, finding an opener. Look at Rush. They're both staring at each other through the smoke. Walk through this, and now Rush finally gets punished, but still a big advantage. Bit of a blooper on the util a little bit, but now these CTs, they're behind a smoke wall once again. This is the worst position to be in because time is just going against them. And George being in this position, he might be able to find himself an easy duel. And now the CT's realizing, you know what? I think this utility's just pushed us back far enough, and we got to retreat. We got to save these guns, keep that off in the rotation. And I don't blame them.
Yeah, at least Jardani will find one on the fadeaway, but I mean, look at how much money the T-side have. It's an incentive for them to go for the hunt. And they get 2 guns at the tail end. AMC will live to tell the tale. Doesn't fire off a shot, but man, oh man, Nouns can go hunting for days. I mean, honestly, for the rest of this half at this point, you've got nearly 3 players on max cash.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good right now. I mean, the money situation's fine. This is where Nouns, we saw this on Dust2, they start to get a little bit aggressive. They start to, you know, flex the muscles a little bit, you know, pump the chest as you will. Did have Semphis on this team, so they're, you know, taking some notes, but maybe we'll have to see if they can keep that the flexing a little bit still maintained for this lead. As I mean, they are getting a little bit tenderized, but they've been also to do good damage against B1. Once again, getting ready for this potential B hit, but they still have 2 CTs to worry about, and that op is going to be placed here.
Key kill for Jardani. He's been very impressive on the ramp side of things, but it's this B site that is so tough to hold on to. And they call AMC over, but he cannot connect any shots. And that's the real kicker there for Marca. They're going to try their hand at some more aggression down in the lower floors, but that's been punished by CJ. Majestics is completely boxed out of the site. And Nouns will climb up to 7 rounds. This is just domination. It really comes all off the back of this continued B aggression. There's just no response from Marca Registrada. And no matter how many players they put on this side of the map, it's not enough.
Yeah, this firepower is definitely starting to be a bit overwhelming, and again, like we said, I mean, this veto definitely didn't look good on paper. There was the whole, you know, asterisk of saying, like, look, it is Nouns at the end of the day, but it's so far looking so good. I mean, with a 7-2 lead on their T side, honestly, a lot of their executes have looked pretty clean. Their, you know, controls have been pretty good. I mean, let's not forget, they only lost the first 2 opening rounds, and then it's been full speed ahead, right? I mean, they've been the ones that have been controlling this first half of the game. So right now for Marca Registrada, they need to be able to find out a way to get themselves at least a couple more just to transition to this T side, because that T side in the previous series, it was non-existent. It wasn't much to really look at.
We're gonna have to paint something together here as the tally continues to run up. Nouns much slower on their approach this time around. Finally considering this A bomb site as a worthy site to take. Jardani has found a crazy timing alongside B1. How in the hell have they gotten into T-spawn? George will not have any idea what's coming here. And now they'll realize that it's definitely an A play. They're going to rotate all the cavalry back the other way and clear this out. B1 will make sure that mid is also empty. But there's nobody on the site proper other than Majestics. They're gonna have to give this bomb site up and the plant as well. So even with all the info that they have, they're still in a 4v4 with no map control.
Oh no. And even just pushing on the side hall right now, or the sidewalk, I should say, Carson doing a great job. And now CJ, oh, CJ, you gotta turn around, turn back. Thinks somebody else. Oh, he's looking at the wrong place. And now these CTs are able to find 3 kills, even with the TK in there, but now puts Junior in a tough position here. 1-on-2. Willem's gonna be planted in a good position for him, but now he has to wait. Nobody's gonna be on it, but they're both able to double swing, and indeed, they should have this defuse, and they're gonna get themselves a 3rd round back of the board.
Oh, but man, oh man, I think that even just comes down to just a timing. Like if CJ is hitting that shot, that round is still over. I do feel like they were kind of offered that one up there. I mean, when you do have that much map control, you need to be having immediate rotations, and this time they're a bit lax on that call. And luckily for them, they still get the round, so they're still going to stay competitive here. But keep an eye out for sure if that happens again. The decisiveness of that rotation.
What is AMC's plan here? He's got the flash with the smoke. I thought he was maybe going to try to go for a spam maybe, or some kind of a big swing here, but they got a nice little bit of a smoke wall on the ramp. But again, you need to be able to find something. Instead, he actually throws a nade deep and actually almost gets the kill against Carson. So that was a decent little bit of coordination. Now he might have overstayed his welcome, and I guess not. He at least will find another kill. So instead of taking down Carson, he actually takes down CJ. So he's done some pretty good damage on this. He's almost got himself 2 kills. Now we have to see if Marca can be able to have somebody else step up as well. B1, he's going to be the player anchoring into this B site. And Nouns, once again, grouping up. They're ready to go. They've been, executing this over and over, playing the same track. And Marca doesn't look like they have any sort of an idea, and they're just using it for one player. He's able to go back for a double swing. He doesn't even want to play this passive. He's trying to bring the fight to it, and now it's a retake again.
They do have a fast flank though. Taylor pushed through mid and should be able to arrive at the scene as quickly as possible. Carson, team kills rush, but there's still a trade available. Taylor's finally activating, and his head's been spotted, and Carson clips his wings. It's all into Majestics on the MP9 as he tries to cut down the distance, but Junior is there. And Majestics continues to struggle within this game as Nouns take an 8th round.
Yeah, now down to the 8-3, last round of the first half, and honestly, for Nouns, I've been really impressed. I was getting, I know I'm saying it over and over, but I was really, really nervous. And again, just considering that, against Legacy, they weren't able to really show too much of life, but now here, they're kind of getting things cleaned up. They're looking a lot better. They're, winning a lot more gunfights, and, everybody's seeming to play a lot better. It's a good thing to see here from Nouns fans, but here from Marca, I'd love to see them get this 4th round, just again to bring back a little bit of hope here for the second half, because that's going to be a grueling effort, right? I mean, that's going to be a tough one to go against, but Junior definitely making that a hard thing to happen here, as he's going to be finding that opener. MP9 kills a little bit back and forth, so we are at the 4-4 here, Paladin, but E1, once again, he has to be the guy that needs to lock this down. Instead of swinging, though, he's going to play a little bit more conservative, but he will get taken out despite his efforts.
Trade rush, but again, CJ watching the aggression from ramp side. Mystics will log his 3rd kill in the round, and then the map, rather. But he's going to need 2 more.
Ooh,
It's not enough.
Not enough at all.
Unfortunately, 9 rounds locked in for Nouns as they get closer and closer to that next stage, but we'll take a short break before we jump into that second half.
Cause I've been playing blind, wasting all this time, yet I need clarity. Give me some clarity. weak. I'm running circles. Since you're in my life, I can get no sleep. If you give me a sign, I'll be yours to keep. Just wanna say you're mine and make history. 'Cause I've been playing blind, wasting all this time, yeah, I need clarity. Give me some clarity. Yeah, I need clarity.
My eyes are closed, I'm feeling. I hear the silence speaking, and every nerve vibrating. And in the clouds, I'm reading a silhouette of meaning into my lungs, inhaling. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, 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 out. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, 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 out.
Well, breaks over and we're ready to go for the second half of map number 2, and Nouns have shown us a 9-3, but now the question is, can they get the job done? Debooking themselves further here for the close qualifier. We're about to find out here, Paladin. Is Marca Registrada, they have a lot of work cut out for them.
Let's see if they can pull it off. Real tall order for the Mexican core squad. You know, we credited them to really showstop the qualification here, but it's been a real uphill battle to start. They're gonna barrel their way through the middle to see what they can find. Jardani, jumping Glock headshot, can't even be redeemed. Finally, Nouns have a pistol go their way, Laz, and Taylor, surely not long for this world.
Yeah, honestly, it is a good point you bring up, is like, you know, finally a pistol comes through for Nouns, because you just really never know. It really is a coin flip
Knife?
with these guys. A
Knife.
knife kill? Yeah, nice. Okay. Even better. So now Junior's is laughing. Yeah, $4,900. Oh, man. I thought he was going to just throw, like, glass cannon off. I'm not going to lie. I thought he was going to throw a little BM there, but I think this plays a lot better. But just knowing Junior, I was like, he might, you know, he might just try to thread the needle a little bit.
Yeah, I heard a little bit of typing there as well. Curious to see what they said there, but yeah, funny stuff. It's all in jest here. No BMs, no real BMs anyway.
No real BMs, yeah. You love it. Right side's like, hey. Those are always a little bit trolly. Love that. Oh, that nade. Such a beautifully placed nade, and man, oh man, they have just crunched middle, and yeah, Jardani now by himself. Probably just like, hey guys, I don't know what happened, but we're all dead, and now Nouns have 11 rounds, and we got a lot of work cut out for us, and our money ain't so good.
Yep, this is pretty much it now for Marca Registrada here in our Katowice North American close qualifier. If it's done here, it's done tonight, unfortunately. And it was always going to be a tough ask. It was always going to be a lot asked from them. But unfortunately, they haven't been able to make that splash that they were hoping for. Maybe they can make this one a little bit more competitive, though, with this first rifle round on the T side.
Firing range down on ramp, and now you can just see Nouns. Like, I think the one thing that's really good here is that they're putting some good pressure points on this. And you can see right there, CJ's like, yeah, why not? I'm going to go for a swing. I can frag out. And now he got himself rewarded with an AK. So this is what I was worried about for Marca, is just the fact of, like, on their T side, they have a lot of hesitation. They always seem to kind of second guess themselves. And now they're getting caught on it, right? So now they kind of figure this out. And so far, so good on the, well, not flawless anymore, but was looking promising. And now Rush getting closer with the MP9. Oh, he's just, yeah, he's feeding. He wants to do something bigger with a farm. Can't get it against B1, but surely Nouns are going to close this off. B1 just getting shot through the smoke. He's fully exposed. They know exactly where he is. He's got the bomb in his hand, but again, still have 3 other Nouns players to worry about. It's a matter of timing here. Just spring the smoke, wait for it to dissipate, and Carson will now get them onto the 12th round. That point, series point.
That should be left, right, good night there from Nouns. They've done exactly what they needed to do in this series. Really put the pressure on a roster that hasn't really made their name for themselves just yet. And showcasing why they are still a very dangerous threat in North America. Why they have so much potency to do some significant damage. Now, it's the pushover of a round. The last Hail Mary call from Marca Registrada. They go charging up the ramp, straight into the crosshairs. It's George up to bat alongside Carson, but they fall. It's got to be rushed to pick up the pieces and stall for time. As Junior's already made it into the ramp as well. Jardani will find another one in through the chaos, and they'll swing towards CJ as well, leaving it all on Junior. 1v3 necessary, minces the first kill on AMC, and Jardani will capitalize. They live to fight another day.
Now they do, but now, I mean, you're still asking for 8 rounds in a row to push overtime. And that's a long road, Paladin. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's a lot of walking. That's a lot of running, walking, moving to get there. But we'll see. See if it can happen. But now do have themselves ready to go with the M4s. CJ with an MP9. Why not? Now Marca finally making a bit more of a decisive decision. They're gonna try to go up this A ramp, but look at how much damage they taken. And Karsten now, he's had enough. He wants to get himself maybe 3, but he can't get the job done. But at least the double kill is there. Now this is going to be about timing. Junior on the side hole. Can't be able to land this M4, and Jardani again saves the day.
Now it's on CJ. He has to really come up to bat. He gets an upgrade for free on the Jardani. The headshot to close. Potentially AMC on 17 health, lives to tell the tale. And again, by the skin of their teeth, Marca Registrada hangs in the balance in this map.
Can't believe it too, man. If you would have had a couple more bullets, I think that would have been it.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that is one of the worst feelings when you're going for a big clutch and you're feeling it. You get some sick shots. Like that second one was pretty nice. The guy was on the sight box, and then you ran out of bullets, and then you're like, yeah, I'm dead. I'm so screwed. There's nothing I'm doing on this. But yeah, like you said, skin of the teeth. MP9s, Nouns, they're not gonna mess around. They're still gonna spend the coin. They're just trying to again see what they can get away with. I actually like this. They use the pop flash to swing into ramp. You can see how quick that Marco is just kind of, retreat on this. 4 players are here right now, though, Paladin. 4 players are committed to this hole from the CT side.
I can't believe they invested again. This is a real risk to run, but it's going to work out anyways. 3 kills, 4 kills found off the SMGs, and Jardani's wondering where the hell his team's gone. All the hopes and dreams of Marca Registrada relies on the highest kill leader for Marca Registrada. And they know where he is too. They've heard him. He deploys his incendiary, his Molotov to try and cut down a position, but there's nobody there. And CJ will sink the last nail in the coffin. Nouns advance, Marca Registrada goodbye. And unfortunately, this is kind of what we expected.
Yeah, it's just all the warm and fuzzies here with Paladin. But yes, that is kind of what we expected. I agree with you. But honestly,